Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be talking about 2023 Ford models and just how crazy the pricing has gotten on some of these models. I'm also going to give you guys some advice if you're looking to order a new Ford in the next few months or potentially over the next year. But before we get into this video, as always, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Now, I know that a lot of you that are watching these videos are truck people, so we're going to start off with a pickup truck, and that's the F-150. Now, I picked the XLT. This is a pretty popular package because it's like middle of the line where you can make it luxurious, but then usually doesn't break the bank. I picked antimatter blue because I thought that was pretty fun. 3.5 EcoBoost, and then 4x4 because, you know, that's what most people do with trucks. I did the 3.55 axle ratio. That's what I most commonly see. But, you know, if you want to tow a little bit more, then you can go for the 3.73. I did the high package, which gives you a lot of extra features. Again, well, sorry, I clicked the discount instead of the package itself. Here's the package. I see a lot of people going for this as well because it just gives you a bunch of options. It frees a frame for a lot of the stuff, by the way, if you want to really read through it. Trailer tow package because it's a truck. Bed utility group because it's a truck. Heritage package, I guess that's why it's got that two-tone. I just kept the wheels and tires and all that. And then most of this other stuff is just standard stuff that comes with like the tow package and then the high package. Just kept it with a black interior, so it's got cloth seats since it's an XLT. And then I added like rubber floor mats. So again, I didn't go too crazy with this. Just kind of like a loaded up XLT. I did upgrade the sound system because I feel like if someone's going to load up, you know, with some of the options on this, they're probably going to do the premium sound system. So you guys can see here kind of like the breakdown, but the big thing is this price down here, $64,900 for, again, it's pretty loaded up XLT, but it's an XLT nonetheless. Now, if we move from that to Ford's website here, you guys can see the starting price with their different models now. Now, some of these are still 2022s, but some of these will show 2023 now. I find this interesting that the Explorer is less expensive starting than the Edge, which is kind of interesting. Now, something that I find very interesting is with their electric cars, they won't show the price, which is kind of interesting. Like you have to click into it and you have to actually start building the vehicle itself for them to show the price. So now you guys can see where the starting price is. And I think the reason they're doing this is, well, starting prices are a heck of a lot higher for some of the vehicles. But if we move from that to more important stuff, so trucks and vans and all that fun stuff, again, some of these starting prices are quite a bit higher, like the F-150 is like 10% higher compared to before. But, you know, some of the other things aren't necessarily really high. We don't have pricing on the Super Duty yet. But the one that's really big is the Lightning. So you guys can see here, the Pro now starts at over $50,000. And if you want a Platinum, it's a $100,000 truck nowadays, which is crazy. Electrified basically keeps everything kind of in its own segment. And then, well, we have the Mustang now. It doesn't show the 2023 yet, which is kind of interesting. But the whole point of this is just to show you how much these prices have increased on Ford's product. Now, these huge price increases obviously are not isolated to just Ford. Every single manufacturer has increased their prices by a pretty large margin over the last year, year and a half because, well, supply chain issues are still a thing. Manufacturing is still really difficult. We have super high inflation. I mean, when inflation is almost 10%, it makes sense as to why vehicle prices are going to be increasing by roughly 10% because, right, material costs are higher, labor costs are higher. It all makes sense, but the reason why this feels so negative is obviously wages still haven't quite kept up with this whole situation. And on top of wages not keeping up with this whole situation, we're losing features from a lot of these vehicles. If you go and dive into each of those vehicles, what you're going to find is that a lot of items are under supply constraint. And so you might not be able to get the options you'd think that you'd be able to get. Like right now with Ford, they're taking out like heated seats in some cases, heated steering wheel, heated glass. Like, seems like it's all to do with heating, which is kind of interesting. But you guys get the point, right? They're taking away options from certain packages or just from certain vehicles in general because they don't have the supply for it. So not only are you paying more money for the vehicle, but you're paying more money and getting less options. Now, another thing that I want to quickly mention that I find pretty interesting about this whole situation is a lot of the more affordable packages with Ford are really difficult to get. I mean, look at like the Maverick, for example, sold out for years at this point. Ford released the new F-150 Rattler. it's completely sold out. So like you can't go and just buy an affordable off-roader from Ford right now. You have to jump up to, you know, an XLT with the FX4 package, or, you know, just again, something else that's not the Rattler that's a little bit more expensive. So it's kind of interesting that on top of, again, prices being higher and there being less options available, especially on, you know, certain packages where those packages kind of are defined by some of those options. Well, when you want to go to the affordable side of things, the affordable vehicles just simply aren't available. They're completely sold out. Now, what can you do as a consumer to navigate this whole situation with ordering a new Ford? First off, you need to know exactly what you're looking for when it comes to options on the vehicle that you're ordering. And on top of knowing what options you want, you need to also know which options are under constraint and which ones aren't, so that you know that you can actually order the vehicle that you're looking to order. And Ford's website, I will say, is pretty good at showing this. It seems like they show like, hey, this is available and this is not. So I really appreciate that. But that being said, still double check with the dealership before you go and put that order all the way through, so then you know that this is the vehicle that you can actually get. I think this is really important. Now, the other thing is you need to properly set your expectation, because even though an option might not be under constraint today, it could be under constraint by the time your vehicle is built. And so your vehicle may ultimately not be built out with that option. And you need to understand that if that situation happens, you need to have a game plan for that. And so if it's like a make or break deal for you on certain options within a vehicle that you're looking to order, then you need to know if you have the ability to like back out of that order and, you know, reorder the vehicle at a later date so you can get the options that you want. Because at this point, and again, it's not just Ford, it's other automakers as well, they are just shipping out vehicles whether or not they have options that people ordered, because they're just shipping them out to ship them out at this point. So you need to understand that that is the reality that we live in right now. And so with that understanding, you need to know that, yeah, there's a chance that your vehicle might get delivered and it might not have the exterior color that you ordered or the interior color. It might not have, you know, several options that you ordered, but it's at least the same trim package. And again, I have seen real world examples of this happening. And so again, properly set your expectation. Now, the other thing is that pricing might increase over the course of you ordering the vehicle. Now, most manufacturers have price protection programs where basically if you order a vehicle at a certain MSRP and that MSRP increases over the course of that vehicle getting built, you still buy it at the lower MSRP as long as you're the person that initially ordered the vehicle. So, you know, just make sure that the vehicle that you are ordering is price protected, so you know that the price that you initially saw is the price that you are paying. You're not going to pay a higher MSRP just because the dealer says so. Because yeah, there's been some stuff happening out there. That's all I'm going to say on that front. And so that's the biggest thing, is again, properly setting your expectation with this whole situation and making sure that you have a backup plan in case the vehicle that you built isn't actually built, right? Because it doesn't have the options that you ordered. In terms of my thoughts on this whole situation, when it comes to the pricing, it sucks, but it's what every single automaker is doing right now. And it's just a crappy situation for everyone, frankly, including automakers. I know that it seems like it's a good situation for automakers because they have all this pricing power, but the only reason they have pricing power is because the amount of vehicles they're able to produce as weeks go on right now in today's market is continually decreasing. Like, everything is getting worse, and so that's why they are increasing the pricing. But it's interesting because the used car market right now is completely like just dying because there's no pricing power within the used car market anymore. And so it's weird that, again, the new car market has all this pricing power, but the used car market doesn't. But yeah, that's the first part. I just think it sucks, but it sucks for everyone. It sucks for consumers and it sucks for automakers because, you know, automakers like Ford, they ultimately do want to produce more vehicles than they're producing right now. Now, when it comes to getting a vehicle that doesn't have the options that you ordered because of all these supply chain constraints, again, it's another situation that's just a lose-lose for everyone, because either the manufacturer waits until they have all of the available supply to build exactly what you ordered, and you also have to wait, and so they have a chance of losing you as a customer because the wait time just gets too long. I mean, look what's happened with the Broncos, right? When it's been like 2 years and some people still haven't gotten their Bronco from Ford, and so Ford sees that. And so then the other side of it is just send you out a vehicle that isn't exactly what you ordered, but it is, you know, ultimately somewhat similar. And again, that's also a lose because then people are frustrated because they still probably waited quite a bit of time to get this vehicle and it's not what they ordered. And so again, it's one of those situations where it's lose-lose. Right now, we're in a market that's kind of lose-lose for everyone, but eventually it's going to hit a point where it just can't get any worse, and then it'll have to rebound. We just don't know where that point is. And so I would say, like I've been saying in several videos, just be patient and make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into before you jump in and try to purchase a vehicle in today's market, because it is seriously all over the place. That's it.